Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I just want to begin by thanking you and Senator Nelson for all the hard work on this important bill with regard to the Coast Guard bill. Just a couple of points for me. For S793, I'd like to be recorded as a no, and I'm going to have a statement for the record on the reason for that. I understand, and I actually respect very much what Senator Booker has been focused on this. There's just some concerns that I had on that amendment. You know, the Coast Guard bill is typically a very bipartisan bill, and I think we're seeing it here today. We have responsibilities on this committee. A number of us sit on the Armed Services Committee, but we had a hearing not too long ago on this committee saying, hey, one of the important oversight roles of the Commerce Committee is on one of the branches of the military, which is the U.S. Coast Guard. And I think it's safe to say how much the members on this committee in a bipartisan way have respect for and want to support the men and women in the uniform who do such a great job with regard to not only protecting the homeland, but also are one of the 5 military services. And that's our role here. It's not under the Armed Services Committee. It's actually the Commerce Committee on the Coast Guard. And I think I think the bill does a good job to highlighting many of the missions and ensuring that the men and women of the Coast Guard have the ability to go conduct those missions. So I appreciate the hard work of many members of the committee on that, and I look forward to getting that passed. On the VITA issue, I know it's recognized as somewhat of a challenge to balance the different issues. I think Senator Nelson talked about them well. I certainly want to work with the other members, but this is actually a very important issue, and it is bipartisan because you have Democrats and Republicans who actually support what we're trying to do in this committee. It's passed a number of times previously, and in my state where the fisheries and the oceans are absolutely vital to the health and well-being of the economy of Alaska, this is actually viewed as a very important bill for reasons that were described. Right now we have a patchwork of regulations and mandates from the EPA, from the Coast Guard, that are viewed as unworkable, in some ways scientifically and even technologically impossible to meet. And we certainly want to work with all the members of this committee, but I think it's time that we need to move forward and pass this bill and pass the VITA bill to bring uniformity and certainty to boat owners, fishermen, commercial operators, and I think that we have the ability to do that here in the Congress. And I want to work with you and appreciate your commitment, Mr. Chairman, to continue to work on this issue to try to address some of the concerns, but to actually move it forward and get it passed in the Senate. Look forward to doing that in the next month or so. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Sullivan. Anybody else?